Hello students, in this video we are going to study fertilization. Fertilization is also known as syngamy. As you know, fertilization is the union of male and female gamete, means the sperm or spermatozoa and ovum or unfertilized egg, so that there is formation of zygote which is diploid, and the process of fertilization involves this fusion in a stepwise manner. As you see in this video, as fertilization can be described with the help of following steps. Like the first one is sperm capacitation, sperm zona pellucida binding, the acrosome reaction, penetration of zona pellucida, sperm oocyte binding, egg activation and the cortical reaction, the zona reaction, and finally there is formation of zygote, and so that the post fertilization events are also involved in the process of fertilization. Now going one by one, in your textbook the mechanism of fertilization is given as the in a first stage, that is movement of sperm towards egg. The second stage given is entry of sperm into the egg. Then third stage is given as a activation of ovum, and so that the process of fertilization is completed. As given in your textbook, this diagram now you can see in this video shows the process of fertilization in 4 steps. We are going to learn or try to understand this concept with the help of diagram separated very well, so that you can get it very well. One by one we are going to see. So uh, means the like other mammals, in human being the process of fertilization is internal, and it usually takes place in the ampulla of the fallopian or uterine tube. As you know, ampulla is the part of female reproductive system. The fertilized egg or zygote will develop into an embryo, and this process occurs within the uterus. Hence, the fertilization is said to be internal in a human being. Now, moving to the mechanism of fertilization, the coagulated semen undergoes liquefaction and the sperm become active. You can say the capacitation of sperm takes place after the sperm reaches to the vagina of human female. Here as many as the 50% are sperms are demollished or broken or destroyed because of the acidity in the vagina and the cervix of the human female. Remaining sperm undergo capacitation. Now what is the meaning of capacitation? So you can say some biochemical changes are takes place in the sperm and its plasma membrane, so that the acrosome become very much active. This process requires 5 to 6 hours after the incubation in the vagina of human female. Acrosome membrane become thin, and the calcium ion enters in the sperm, and their tail become too rapid whiplash movement. The tail becomes so active so that the sperm can reach to the ovum till the ampulla. Means as a result of capacitation, sperm become extra active and begin to start moving upward from vagina to the uterus of the oviduct. Here the prostaglandins, means the higher lipids, plays important role to make the sperm active. The sperm swim at an average speed of 1.5 to 3.0 millimeter per minute. So sperm reaches up to the ampulla, as a result their own swimming, and partly by contraction of uterus and the fallopian tube stimulated by oxytocin of the female. Oxytocin is the happy hormone, you can say, which is secreted by the hypothalamus and the pear-like structure pineal body of the human female. After capacitation, the sperm may reach ampulla within the 5 minutes. Sperm can remain viable for 24 to 48 hours. And for your information, ovum remain viable for about 24 hours. Now, moving to the next step. After the movement of sperm towards the egg, the next step is entry of sperm into the egg. Listen carefully. Out of 200 to 400 million sperms, only few hundred manage to reach the ampulla. Okay, through though means through this process, many sperm reach to the ampulla, but only single sperm fertilizes the ovum. How it is? Listen carefully. The sperm, after reaching the egg or ovum, comes to lie against it. Means acrosome is near to the corona radiata of the ovum, and uh, you can say its acrosome releases lysine, hyaluronidase, and corona penetrating enzymes. They separate and dissolve the cells of corona radiata, so the sperm head pass through the zona pellucida of egg. Means you can say the first border of the ovum is crossed by the sperm head. Then the zona pellucida has also the fertilizing receptor proteins like ZP3 and ZP2. This fertilizin binds to the specific acid protein like antifertilizin of the sperm. Means there is fertilizin with the ovum and antifertilizin with the sperm. So it brings about attraction of sperm to the egg to enhance the fertilization. Fertilizin antifertilizin interaction is species specific, is said to be species specific, means in human being it is different, other animal it is different. This fertilizin antifertilizin reaction are said to be compatibility reaction also. Okay, because they are specific to the specific species. Now, what are the changes in acrosome? See, as the sperm head touches the zona pellucida in the animal pole region means where the female gamete nucleus lies. Okay, its acrosome covering ruptures to release lytic enzymes, acrosine or zonalysine. They act on the zona pellucida at the point of contact. This causes egg reaction. A small fertilization cone or cone of reception is formed on the egg membrane. Means there is a point of attachment which is seen like a cone like structure. This cone like structure is formed on the egg membrane called as cone of reception or fertilization cone. The sperm head come in contact with this cone. Plasma membrane of the both cell dissolve at the point of contact. The sperm nucleus and the centriole enters the egg while other parts remain outside. Then there is a question arises in your mind, maybe why only one sperm get entry into the ovum out of these millions of sperms? The answer is, see, you can explain it as the sperm head touches the vitelline membrane. Okay, vitelline membrane is the innermost membrane of the ovum, and a cortical reaction get activated, changing the vitelline membrane into the fertilization membrane by deactivating the sperm receptor of zona pellucida. Means the vitelline membrane act as a fertilization membrane. Means once the female ovum forms a cone of reception, and that cone of reception touches or comes in contact with the sperm head, and this contact forms, and the remaining part of the sperm detach from the place, and so there is formation of fertilization membrane. And this fertilization membrane prevents the further entry of other sperms into the egg, and hence it is said to be that the polyspermy is avoided uh, in this way, that is, no more than one sperm can fertilize or get entry into the ovum. Okay, now the third stage in the fertilization is activation of ovum. Means here you see that the sperm actions and sperm activation, etc. What are the changes takes place in the ovum during the fertilization? See, activation of ovum. The ovum before fertilization was at metaphase 2 stage. As you know, there is a meiosis, and meiosis takes place in two stages, meiosis 1 and meiosis 2. So meiosis 1 is completed before the ovulation, but the ovum is taken up by the femur, and it is arrested in the metaphase 2, which is the stage in meiosis 2. Okay, with the contact of sperm head to the vitelline membrane of egg, it get activated to resume and complete its meiosis 2. Means when the head of the sperm attaches to the cone of that is fertilization cone, then the meiosis 2 is completed. With the completion of meiosis 2 in the ovum, now the ovum become ready. With this, it gives out the second polar body. Means meiosis 2 forms second polar body. First polar body is already formed during the formation of ovum, as we are already seen in the structure of ovum. The germinal vesicle organize into the female pronucleus. At this stage, it is the true ovum or egg. Means here the all cell division processes of meiosis 2 is completed, and the second polar body is also formed, and you can say that this is the complete ovum or mature ovum to fertilize. Then the next step in the fertilization is the fusion of egg and the sperm. See, the coverings of male and female pronuclei degenerate, allowing the chromosomal pairing. Means, as you know, when there is a union of male and female gamete, means the male and female pronucleus, now the actual mixing of chromosome takes place. This results in formation of synkaryon by the process called syngamy or karyogamy. Here karyon means nucleus. Here nucleus are united, so it is called as karyogamy. Okay, and the fertilization is called as syngamy. As we already start with this, that the as you are going to study fertilization, it is also known as syngamy. You get the answer now why it is called as syngamy, because there is union of two pronucleus. The zygote is formed. The result of union of male and female pronucleus is the zygote. This zygote is formed. The proximal centriole received from the sperm help in the formation of synkaryon spindle and cleavage of the cell into two blastomeres. Okay, the means the union of male and female gamete forms a zygote, and this zygote forms or goes into first cleavage or first cut, and this first cut gives two nucleus, and it is called as blastomere. It is called as blastomere. It is the first cleavage. It is the result of first cleavage. Now here is the end of process of fertilization. Here is the fertilization is accomplished. You can explain or you can give the significance of fertilization as number one, secondary oocyte completes the process of oogenesis and is transformed into a mature ovum. Means the fertilization involves the remaining oogenesis, so that there is formation of mature ovum. The second point is the diploid chromosome number is restored in the zygote by the process of syngamy. Means two haploid gametes unite to form diploid zygote. Means the diploid is restored. The ovum lacks the centrioles necessary for the further division are received from the sperm during the fertilization. As you know, the ovum has no centriole and the centriole are necessary for the further division. These centrioles are received by the zygote from the sperm. Now, the fourth significance of fertilization is the fertilization involves fusion of male and female gamete from the two parents. It results in variation which are significant in evolution. Evolution is the process of changes in the species or the variation in the species, and this variation takes place by the mixing of two parents' chromosome. So it is also a significance of fertilization. And the last is the sex of the offspring is determined. Means the zygote is producing further the male baby or female baby. This also determined by the process of fertilization. In this way you can give the significance of fertilization in 5 points. Hope you can understand all this process of fertilization very well.